Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. Here we are.
Here we are again.
Look at us.
Look at us. I love it here.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
That's 2.
Okay, that's a last one.
This is the last Happy New Year of 2026.
Yeah, we won't say it again, we promise.
Officially, but
happy
2-year anniversary.
2-year anniversary to Disrespectfully.
I know.
Welcome to Disrespectfully
With Katie Maloney
and Dayna Kathan.
Unapologetically
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully. Can you believe?
I can't. Time truly
Time
fries. Well, it does fry because I had fried yellow blonde hair the first time I walked into the studio. So we've definitely come up in the world. But
I feel like it's so weird when I go back and see like clips from that, and it's like a jump scare because your hair's short and so blonde that I'm like, who is that?
no, it's crazy. I was going through all kinds of things at those first few months, physically, emotionally, otherwise. I think back, I don't know that we've ever talked about this per se, but I remember walking in the first day and being so fucking nervous.
Really?
Because like, obviously I had done podcasts before. I had one for a short time. I had done yours a lot, but we just put so much before we even came out with the show. Like, there was a lot leading up to that.
There was like almost 8 months of just like planning and plotting and all of that.
And I'm sure that there are some people that come up with a podcast and it's out the next day, but that is it. There was a lot, like almost a year went into that moment and just being like, I want it to be good. We care about it so much. And it's just crazy how much has changed since then.
What was your favorite episode? But would you have like a favorite period of time?
I mean, I think that after a year in, we really were lock and step. Like, we had our segments. Like, it was fun to see the first year what came out of that in terms of like basement and then daddy list and then splitting this into 2 episodes because we were like, we're getting way too long to be 1 episode, so we should just cut it into 2 full episodes a week. And watching our community grow. And obviously, thank you all, because you're why we're still here. And just like, that's been my favorite part of it overall. The experience of just the Coven has become a full fucking thing. And we were joking when we were doing promos for it. We were joking, like we were jokingly calling it a cult. And then that's where like Coven came from. We had like, it just kind of was something, and it worked. And so that's what we stuck with. And I'm so glad that we have our Coven.
No, yeah, honestly, growing the community has been the best part. And especially like even newer members, like reading some submissions today for like hometown stuff like that, and people are like, I'm a new listener. I'm like, yes.
Oh my
Welcome.
God. Well, yeah, they're like late to the party. I'm like, great. Again, I discovered MFM 5 years in. So I had never even heard of it until someone mentioned it to me. And then I was like, it's never too late to tell your friends about Disrespectfully, guys.
I just feel like it's going to be a big year for us. And I know that's easy to say January, whatever of the year, but I feel really good about it.
I do too.
Some of my favorite was when I was like brutally hungover and we'd do shots of tequila and I just like could strokes the funks, like just giggling nonstop. I like when we get in like a giggle fit.
I think that some of my favorite ones they felt like piecemeal at the time, where I was a nervous Nelly and I'm like, what the fuck even is this episode? And then we listen to it back and it ends up being some of my favorite episodes.
I feel like whenever you're like, that was terrible, I'm like, that was great. I loved that.
Ends up being a great episode, which is why I've stopped saying that, which is also why I'm like, I don't want it to sound cocky. It's just, I think this is going to be a huge year for both of us for different reasons, for shared reasons, and for Disrespectfully. I'm sure you did. Someone posted, they put us on their vision board for 2026 because they wanted a tour. They wanted a tour. So I'm going back to tour. So like we don't have anything in the pipeline, but it's definitely on our vision board also. We think
about that all the time, but I think I sometimes will be like, well, I don't know if we're like ready for that. It's not that I don't believe. I very much believe. I don't have, like I'm not like we're the shit. Of course we are. I don't know. I just feel like that's such like a big thing.
No, and just like everything in this podcast, which is intentional that we care so much about, we care about bringing you the best show at the right time. We don't want to be some loser doing karaoke at a winery or something. We want it to be.
Who's that?
We want it to be shows that matter and that are perfect for all of you and that are worth the money and the time and everything that's going to end up happening. But I mean, we've talked about it before. We do already know who will be organizing that for us and be our tour manager, and it will help you. So we'll probably start with a few shows at some point in the bigger cities and then see how it goes and go from there.
But
So
also like this isn't an announcement. So we're speaking in hypotheticals.
but we're manifesting. We're
Yeah.
envisioning it. We have
It's
we
on
know
our
we
vision
have
board.
exciting shit coming this year. We have incredible guests lined up this year. And I mean, we've always, I don't know if we've said this on the podcast, but we always wanted to be a show that wasn't guest centric, not because we don't love the guests that we have,
Mhm.
but because that's just not what the ethos of the show in general is. It's us talking about what we want and then the occasional great guests when it makes sense for us.
Mhm.
And we're so grateful to everyone you've already had on, but we have
And also
some
I
really
think
exciting ones
we
coming
pay
up.
attention to kind of like, we want to kind of go with the flow a little bit. Like if there's something that we particularly get on that y'all are really excited about, we're like, okay, we know who should we bring on as a guest. So it is
Mhm.
very intentional. We want to stick to that and not just like be inviting on whoever.
This is not a cheer-tatership, okay? You guys
No.
write it. Keep writing. I mean, you write it disrespectfullypod@gmail.com, which is where you're writing in your Heauxmetown Heroes, your Coven Core, your WWDDs. But also, yeah, if you have things you want to see, if you want to tell us we're hot, if you have any constructive
Yeah.
criticism, delete that email. We don't want it. Just kidding. We listen to you guys. We love you. And damn, can you believe it's been 2 years? How
No.
different both of our lives are.
Oh my. I also think back to like what the things that we were specifically talking like a lot of dumb bitch you stuff was happening back then. No, but just thinking back to all that, like the personal growth that we've had, the software updates that we've had, the cigarettes I was just kidding,
Absolutely.
the hot dogs that I've been eating.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I mean it's crazy. I
also
can't wait for a million more.
Me too. And I just think that something that's so special that we talk about is if you're ever there, you're at the finish line, then what is that? I always want to be growing and becoming what I'm supposed to be. It's a constant evolution. I think that if you look at the show for the last 2 years, both of us in our personal lives have learned a lot, have
Mhm.
grown a lot, taken some L's, taken a lot of W's. And I'm just so, I know it sounds corny, but starting 2026, very grateful.
Hell yeah.
Grateful for the show. Allison, so grateful for you.
So
You
grateful
guys
for
have
you.
no idea how much Allison does to help bring this show to you. We just love you so much. You're goated.
I do it because I love you guys.
We love you.
So based.
Oh.
I learned what
Wow.
that meant.
What the fuck is that?
I learned it in Landman.
What does it mean?
It means
it a kid's
that
thing? Is it
you're so like cool and you're not like in a mainstream kind of way, but you just like don't do what like you just you're base. I don't know.
There's a new thing on TikTok called like looks maxing or whatever. You're producer maxing.
Oh my god!
Is that what that means? Isn't it? Doesn't
What
it
is
mean
looks maxing?
Isn't it? It means you're like really hot, right? You're like
Oh.
looking right.
Yeah, it's like you're like hacking yourself to look even better,
Mm-hmm.
like gua sha and like mewing and stuff.
And then,
Oh.
but then there's people are making it their own. So then they're like outfit maxing or
Oh my
whatever. And
God.
maybe I'm translating it wrong because I'm not a
I'm like-
Gen Z. But
I'm like chill maxing.
You're
I'm
chill-
maxing out. Like I'm bed maxing.
okay, you're bed maxing. You're production producer maxing. What am I?
Hot maxing.
No, it can't be that because it's like because it looks maxing is one. Like what's the unique one?
You're
Hair maxing. I'm getting my new extensions
hair
tomorrow.
maxing. There
Okay,
you go.
well, hair maxing. Let's put it in there because you guys. At the time, not only did I know that I looked bad, I felt bad about myself. I lost all my hair and then I fried the hair that I had left off.
Girl, we all go through. I've been there so many times in my life, but that's the thing about hair. It always grows. You can always change it.
No, it does. But it is crazy how so much of your identity. When I used to have hair that looked like this, but I didn't have to pay as much for it. So then when you go through that, I mean, it was quite a humbling experience. But,
Mhm.
we're on it all bad times. You know, the thing about them, they
It
end.
took me like over 30 years to get to like a hair place, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And now I'm like this, like, don't get sick of it because I'm not changing it.
No, we love it. We love it.
I've had so much hair for so much of my life that like finding a style that like works for me and I feel put together and I feel cool without having to do a damn thing is
I mean, you look so good doing it. I love your hair like this.
for someone that like loves to like accessorize and do things. I am so low maintenance. I don't want to have to like upkeep. Like I remember for a period of time when I had extensions, I hated my life.
I mean, they still make me feel good. I will say, I have always, the goal has been to grow out my hair while I have
Yeah.
them on. So I'm probably going to do them maybe for the next, because I have an appointment tomorrow and they last for 3 months. So I'll probably do it through June and then I'm probably going to take them out.
I mean, that's
and
what
go
I
back.
did.
So like I never wanted to be someone where I'm going to have them forever. It definitely was like, and I know it's a shock because every time she takes them out, I'm like, oh,
Where's your hair at?
it's like below my collarbone.
okay.
So
you're
yeah,
getting there.
I just feel good about that they've served their purpose and I'm going to enjoy them for the next few months. And then I'm ready to just be all natural, baby, including natural hair color. Like, Really being
Everyone
more comfortable with
went
me.
brunette. I'm here for it.
I really do feel like it's taking, I just don't want to say like I changed everyone's lives, but I think that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's all of a sudden I did it and everyone's like, let's go natural. And I'm
You
like,
inspire.
okay, just
I'm
say you
always
love
like,
me.
dye your hair, cut your hair, do the thing.
Change it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel really good about that. My question to you before we jump in, because we have 2 Coven cores today. One, I'm really excited specifically. I'm going to read because I want to read it to you because I
Okay.
want you to have a raw reaction. The question for you is, what would you say your biggest learning moment or takeaway has been from the 2 years of Disrespectfully?
Biggest learning or takeaway is always just to like trust the process, to not be in a rush to get to a place. I'm not saying I was, but I really wanted to like kind of test that theory with this show, to like really just trust that like we're going to find our audience, we're going to find our footing, we're going to like trip along the way, but like we're going to get there in the most like holistic way possible, and it's going to feel really good just to kind of like let this show tell us what it is and just be along for the ride. And, you know, obviously we put a lot of effort into it and everything like that, but just to like let it figure itself out. And because it takes time, and who knows, this show's going to evolve even more, but like we don't even know what that looks like right now because we're just on the train.
We're barely a toddler, you guys. We're still so early in the process. I think that retweet that in a big way, because I think there were kinks. Last night I was trying to fall asleep, everyone. And I shuddered thinking about the affair recaps. But honestly, that came from outside voices telling us we should be doing this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, for me, the biggest takeaway is authenticity always comes out on top. And I think that we've been really authentic to ourselves, minus a few kinks of, I'm not as good at trusting the process. I'm very controlling and very type A and need to see the path. And I think that it's also echoed in my personal life, how I've had to just move forward without being able to see the next step on the staircase, which has been both terrifying and incredibly liberating, because I was also reflecting for some reason last night, stoned. That's why I was like, I can't even picture doing the job that I was doing now, like now being in this era of my life and letting myself be free. And it's been really scary being self-employed and taking a risk. And it's not exactly a placid sea in the world right now. It's pretty volatile times, but I'm so glad that I bet on myself and that I just feel really, really good about moving forward. So I think I'm really proud of us for sticking in our true voice and ourselves. And I think that we will be reaping all the benefits.
I'm really proud of you for taking that risk, betting on yourself, for trusting me in all this. I didn't want to like bring any of my past experience into this. I wanted something that felt new and fresh, and that we were building separate from that, but still trying to like borrow some logistic things. But like, I just was like, I felt like I wasn't, not that You're Gonna Love Me wasn't an authentic show, but I didn't connect to it, period. It did not feel like something I could continue doing.
Community-wise, do you feel a difference between You're Gonna Love Me and this?
Yeah, because I mean, like, look, if you listen to the show, you know, we don't talk about Vanderpump Rules or Bravo, and like that is on purpose, but also reflective of my daily life. I don't live and breathe that anymore. I want to.
Chapter's closed.
Yeah, period. So, thank you.
Okay, give me a little finger squeeze. Thank you. Oh, you're going to pound me? I would never pound you in my life. Love you.
Well, I don't.
Grateful for you, except for when you make me do that.
I've never done that with you. So,
should we jump into some Coven core?
Yes. Lauren says, hello, my beautiful witchy queens. My name is Lauren. I'm a 29-year-old Midwestern emo esthetician. Hell yeah. Virgo sun, Sagittarius moon, and Scorpio rising. Wow.
That's a combo right there.
You are spicy. I absolutely adore you two powerful women, and your podcast has truly made such a positive impact in my life. I'm writing in today, technically not a WWDD or Heauxmetown Hero, but to share a dream I had about the two of you. I love when people dream about me. It was my wedding, and Dana walked me down the aisle in untraditional fashion. I was waiting on my groom to come down the aisle to me. He rode up on a little Sportster motorcycle and jumped off to me. Once the festivities were settled in, Katie stood up to make a toast to us, the married couple, and serenade us with Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. It was the perfect wedding. I hope you get a kick out of that as much as I do. Katie, you're a badass role model, a fashion icon, and I love that you're following your adult emo heart. It was never a phase. Dana, I can feel it in my bones when you talk about the Nirvana Unplugged MTV set. I have the same love for Alice in Chains Unplugged MTV set and live in limerence with Lane Staley, LOL. I know how deeply it can touch your soul, and I just want to say that I see you. I love you both so much. Never stop being you. P.S. If you're ever in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area and in need of a glowy facial or bomb tattoo, my boyfriend and I would love to take care of y'all. Hell yeah.
I loved that so much. We were in the last episode, we were just talking about dreams and how random people, like that's crazy. The way that I dream about Matthew Perry so much and I don't know him because I'm listening to it. I'm like, it's wild that people you don't even know that end up in your dreams.
Yeah, I love it.
Crazy.
I know that one time when I dreamt about Rachel Zoe and her husband.
Wild.
I don't think I've ever thought about them.
Are you watching the new is it out? The new Beverly Hills Housewives?
Is it?
I haven't been watching. That's the only one I still watch, but I'm really, it's like intermittent, but because she's on it. So I'm wondering.
Oh, I'm curious about that. Yeah.
I think she's getting divorced from him.
Yeah, they are.
Damn, they were like such a long-term couple. But again, when people are like divorced, they were together for like 20 something years.
Yeah, that was a successful marriage.
It's a pretty successful marriage in my book. Anywho, thank you for sending that in. I loved it. Okay. C says, Dear Katie and Dana, picture this. It's the very early morning of Christmas Eve, around 3:45 a.m. to be exact. I am in my car driving to my side job. Nothing naughty, just delivering packages for the big box store overlord. I'm depressed. I'm not in the holiday spirit at all. I'm working 3 jobs, social worker, therapist, and the big box store delivery person. I'm a mom to 2 little boys, ages 5 and 3. I don't really get a break or time for myself. I'm sleep deprived. Hello, 2:30 a.m. wake up time. My husband and I parent in shifts. He works multiple jobs too. He's a wonderful support, but I'm the preferred primary parent go-to figure. I'm just exhausted every single day, and this is the life until my youngest son is out of preschool and my debts are repaid, or I'm paid a livable wage for a single 40-hour-week job. Outlook not so good on that one. Obviously, everyone deserves a livable wage. I'm so annoyed for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm listening to your pod, as I usually do in these early morning routes, so I don't lose my damn mind. Today, you did your Spirit Christmas box opening. Pretty innocuous, right? Wrong. The amount of joy you both exuded just opening a box of cute shit was sweet and contagious. I swear I got teary-eyed. I haven't heard pure joy like that in a long time, I think, especially not from adults in this miserable dumpster fire of a hellscape. Now it's 9:02 a.m. in the morning of Christmas Eve. I'm moving on to job number 2 of the day. I'm waiting for my client to log into Zoom calls so I can therapize him, and I feel like I can actually show up and not be depleted. I feel like I can breathe. So, just like I might preach to my clients in session, sometimes it really is the small things, and we must be intentional without noticing and appreciating them in order to get through our longer, darker days. I hope this wasn't too complainy or long. Love you both. Thank you. Consensual hugs, C.
I wish I could hug you.
Are you not? I was tearing up.
Oh, no. My eyes are
misty.
It got a little blurry reading that.
Is that not
you.
so incredible? I just think in general, see, and thank you for being so sweet and giving us flowers. That's not even why I wanted to share it. I wanted to share it because we do talk about that, how in hard times, it's so easy to stick to the script of everything that's awful. And truly, I think one of the biggest acts of resistance is still celebrating and finding joy and little wins. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter where I'm glad you siphoned it from us, but wherever you source that, it doesn't matter. I just think it's so important going into this year.
That's why, yeah, I think whimsy is a part of everything. Like, just find the little things that make you smile and invest.
Yeah.
Invest your thoughts in them, your time in them, your money in them, whatever you can do just to like inject that joy into your life. But thank you for sharing that with us.
That was lovely, C. Big hug. You are such a badass. I hope that sooner than later you get the livable wage you deserve. And also, if you ever have a story that doesn't feel like a hometown hero or a WWDD, send it in.
Yeah. We love like the warm and fuzzies over here. You can vent to us. That's what this is about.
Right. We want your wins as much as you guys do. Should we do some hometown heroes?
Yes. You've heard us talk about Hungry Root before, but I truly love it because it makes my life so much easier. Between work, life, and just trying to function, having my groceries planned is a game changer for me.
I mean, same. Hungry Root basically plans your groceries for the week, fills your cart, and delivers everything you need while actually fitting your health goals, preferences, and budget. It's one less thing to think about.
And the variety is unreal. Hungry Root has over 1,000 grocery items, smoothies, snacks, sweets, salad kits, ready-to-eat meals, so it never feels boring or repetitive.
Plus, the quality is really solid. They screen out over 200 additives, source high-quality meat and seafood with no hormones or antibiotics, offer organic produce and non-GMO options, and carry brands I already love like Oatly, Vital Farms, Ithaca Hummus, and Harmless Harvest.
What I love is how it learns your taste over time. The more you use it, the better it gets at tailoring your orders. So it actually feels personalized instead of random.
And if you're trying to eat healthier in the new year and actually stick to it past January, Hungry Root makes that part easy. It removes the stress and decision fatigue completely.
You're going to love Hungry Root as much as I do. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box plus a free item in every box for life.
For life. Go to hungryroot.com/disrespectfully and use code disrespectfully.
That's hungryroot.com/disrespectfully, code disrespectfully to get 40% off your first box and a free item of choice for life. So you guys know Gordo and Butter are like basically a part of the show at this point. They've practically been on the show. And lately I started noticing little things like extra scratching, the licking paws, the deep cleaning in the middle of the night, shaking their heads. And that I honestly didn't realize weren't just dog stuff.
Meanwhile, Laszlo is just like perfect and flawless. But yeah, dogs, they're more expressive.
Exactly. And I learned that things like itching and digestive issues or slowing down aren't actually normal dog behaviors. They can be signs of allergies. A lot of it starts with the gut.
Which is wild, but also makes sense. Dogs need good bacteria too, just like humans.
That's why I started giving Gordo and Butter Better Wild Allergy Relief Soft Chews. They're supplements designed to support your dog's allergy defense system by strengthening digestion and helping restore balance in the gut.
And they're the first chews with Ancestral Advantage Wolf probiotics derived from dogs' ancestors, the wolf, to help promote a healthier balance of good bacteria.
They also include L-Sake, which is a postbiotic derived from kimchi, plus colostrum to support immune function and salmon oil for healthy skin and fur. I give them the chews every day, and the dogs generally think that they're treats, which makes it really easy.
Better Wild is all about science-backed, veterinarian-approved solutions, which feels reassuring when you're just trying to support your pet's health.
Right now, Better Wild is offering our listeners up to 40% off your order at betterwild.com/disrespectfully.
That's betterwild.com/disrespectfully for up to 40% off your order.
betterwild.com/disrespectfully.
I had one of those moments recently where I looked at my bank account and was like, I don't actually know where my money is going, but I know it's going somewhere. Like, who's using my card?
Same, especially with subscriptions. OMG. They just quietly stack up and suddenly you're paying for things you forgot you even signed up for.
That's why I started using Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and lowers your bills so you can grow with your savings.
What I love is that it tracks all your subscriptions in one place and lets you cancel ones you don't want anymore with just a few taps, which saves so much time and avoids those surprise charges.
It also automatically categorizes your transactions across accounts so you can actually see your spending patterns instead of guessing. It's been real eye-opening for me.
And you can set budgets and goals, get personalized insights, and receive alerts for big transactions or upcoming bills. It just makes everything feel way more manageable.
I also like that it puts all your accounts, checking, savings, loans, investments into one dashboard, so you can actually see the full picture of your finances.
Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/disrespectfully.
That's rocketmoney.com/disrespectfully.
rocketmoney.com/disrespectfully.
M says, heated rivalry. Finally, a specific reason to write in other than to gush and tell you both, Dana and Katie, how much I adore you two. Long time listener, first time reaching out. What can I say? I'm shy. Your perspectives on life and the way you both face the uncertainty of these trying times with humor, the darker the better, babe, and endless amounts of disrespect has been nothing short of totally affirming and grounding. In the iconic words of Clueless's Dion, the Disrespectfully podcast makes me feel a sense of control in a world full of chaos.
Yeah.
Incredible praise.
I
High
love
praise.
that.
All right, on to my reason for writing in Boys Kissing Boys. So I'm from a small Northern Ontario town. We are several hours north of Toronto, Canada. I'll leave out any further identifying details to preserve privacy. When I was in my late teens to early 20s, the parties I go to would often involve girls getting drunk and dared to kiss each other, which would often happen to everyone's horny amusement. Pretty standard party protocols. However, what would also happen is that guys would kiss each other. I'm not talking about a peck on the cheek either. This is heated rivalry makeout style. It was hot, can absolutely confirm. These were the guys that we, the girls, were all sleeping with in one form or another. Small town vibes, what can I say? It's like working in a restaurant in WeHo, apparently. It was all hot. We all loved it. I'm sure some of these dudes were hooking up secretly too. There were all kinds of wild stuff going on behind the scenes and closed doors. I absolutely believe the ideals like love, gender, and sexuality are all fluid and on the spectrum. I also think that the general social norms make it easier for women to dabble between the sexes, while I think many men are still trapped in more rigid gender stereotypes, which we all suffer the consequences of, which is most men who are repressed sexually and then take it out on everyone around them. Preach.
Period.
All right, I'm done. Haha. Please feel free to cut any of my blathering back if you ever decide to read my email to the Disrespectfully Coven. I must quote what all great podcast listeners write when they email. Sorry if this is too long. Love, love, love you both so much. Icons, queens, come to Canada. M, the Good Witch of the North.
Oh.
First of all, that was not too long. Second of all, loved how it was written. You're a great writer. Protest more men kissing. Please. God, I've been saying this.
Oh, please,
I
kiss.
think that it would solve so many problems. You can just tell when men want to kiss each other and why they're all so angry and
repressed.
making it our problem. No one cares. We'd actually prefer it. We like it when men make out
Yeah.
and do other stuff
It doesn't
too.
mean it. So what? You can make out the dude, make out the girl the next day. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you don't even have to call it anything. Just make out with your friends. Like more men kissing. And also I'm like, God, you were so ahead of the times. Your friends, like guys being comfortable making out. How sexy is that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'd start S&D again if there was more of that. You know, more people, more men comfortable kissing. Anyway.
Hell yeah. Val says, hey, Katie and Dana. I've written before, so I'll skip the pleasantries, but just know I love you, mean it. Okay, so I was scrolling Netflix and noticed they have so many early 2000s movies streaming right now, and it got me thinking that Gen Z didn't get to experience these movies in their prime like we millennials did, and what a shame that is. I think about that often, like the glory days of like done.
Nothing like
They'll
it.
never be a She's All That. Even if He's All That wasn't She's All That. I don't care.
Even the way that the film looks, because everything's
Yeah.
so lit up, like it's just completely different.
Totally different. I wonder if they're watching them now as young adults and what their thoughts are, which inspired the idea of a millennial must-watch list. Oh, we should do that. What would your top 3 movies from your childhood teen years that you would pay money to experience again for the first time? Maybe they shaped you in some way or are linked to a specific memory or just simply provide a sexual awakening. Mine would be Charlie's Angels. I vividly remember coming out of the movie theater and wanting to be a strong kick-ass woman like the ones I just seen. It made me proud to be a girl and give my vision of the kind of woman I'd like to be one day. 10 years old. Super bad. I've literally never laughed so hard in my life. I went in blind without seeing the preview, so I didn't know what I was about to watch. And let me tell you, I almost peed my pants. So many quotable lines, and I truly don't think I ever laughed at a movie that hard since 17 years old.
I've rewatched that recently. It still holds up, but even
Oh,
the
it's
way,
great.
the funny thing about my back is located on my cock. Like I quote that movie still so much throughout my life. Like that's such a slept on one.
Oh, and 10 Things I Hate About You.
Mm.
Heath Ledger, Sexual Awakening. I still do love a bad boy who is a softie on the inside. And men with longer hair, but ones who wash their ass, of course. 9 years old. Can't wait to hear your list, Val. Yes, Dana, I'd also fuck the Grinch.
Ew.
What are some of your movies?
So not to be a copycat, Val, because we have things in common, but 10 Things I Hate About You would probably be my number one on the list. I watched that incessantly, everything about it. And I knew that I was a cat son, probably her friend Rising, whose name I can't remember, and probably a Heath Ledger moon. Like it just so much about my personality was, and I just like, I saw Kat. Like I really saw her for who she was back in the day. And I mean, I was meant to be an ornery little fuck. So that made sense for me. Cruel Intentions. I know, again, these feel like the big hits, so it seems corny to say, but that change altered my brain chemistry. Everything about that movie is just it. And then, honestly, you already mentioned it, but I probably would say She's All That. Like we have to have a Freddie Prinze Jr. or you could do, I know what you did last summer, but She's All That was just, it had everything and Paul Walker was in it. I love a makeover montage. It's like we could talk about Clueless, like when they do Brittany Murphy's, like,
and I love the high school like tropes that they like
Yes.
all played into. They weren't realistic, at least in my experience, but I loved it.
what would yours off the cuff be? It's kind of hard because we could probably think
Okay,
more.
yeah, like 10 Things I Hate About You. Obviously, Can't Hardly Wait was a big one for me.
Oh my God.
But what I'll say about 10 Things About You is because there was the Heath Ledger of it all, but there was also the Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who like was sort of my North Star of like crushes growing up. Him and like Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I truly love those movies so much. And then I'd probably say I was a little bit older, but I love Step Brothers so much.
Oh my God.
I love that movie. Like just, yeah. That was one of those movies that I still watch all the time. And Bridesmaids, I don't think those don't count as like teen movies, but like I watched them as a teen, you know, like all
Well,
Mean
they're
Girls.
still in my vernacular.
And Mean Girls, like yeah, it's just yeah.
I will also throw honorable mention to Now and Then, because I watched as a kid. I was probably like 10 or something when I first saw it, and I again a few years ago watched it, and it just completely holds up, and it has everything like the Devon Sawa, Christina Ricci, like their progression in that movie. It's such a like I remember the way like their kiss and like his reaction, and then her being like, "If you ever tell anyone about this, I'll beat the shit out of you." And he's just like, oh, he's like really scared of her, and like it's like girlhood. It's growing with your friends. Ugh,
The Devon Sawa of it all.
I could go on and on.
Also, I want to add Save the Last Dance.
The way we thought that she ate that dance up, and now watching it, but it's incredible.
But it's
and Kerry
great.
Washington. Oh my God,
Yeah.
incredible.
Is there anything else you can think of?
I mean, there's honestly
Center Stage.
Center Stage. The other day, I heard the song from her, like big dance and that. And I'm like, all the music of this movie will always make me think of it. I feel sorry for people who've never watched Center Stage.
How are they
Like
not?
if that was not a defining moment in your life, if you haven't, that's your homework before next week. Watch Center Stage.
Cooper Nielsen.
People don't talk about it enough.
Yeah, we got to talk about
Eyebrows is in it. What's his name?
Peter Gallagher.
Yes, it's so good.
I was like Eugene Levy. No. How are there two eyebrows out there? No, Center Stage was
Eugene Levy, American Pie, which was
oh my God,
classic.
American Pie.
Classic.
I'm probably forgetting much, but Clueless too. Clueless I watch all the time. I probably watch that a few times a month.
There's so many. I feel like this is a little bit of a slept on one. Down to You, which is Freddie Prinze Jr. and Julia Stiles.
I forgot about that.
Oh my God, it's so good. So there's also, we love when they would mix all of those actors into different. It was just like a sign of the real fandom before it was like creepy and weird.
Also, the Josh Hartnett of it all with the. Did you ever see Wicker Park?
No.
Also, Matthew Lillard's in that.
Never seen it.
It is so good. Rose Byrne's in it.
Mm.
You haven't
I've
seen
never
Wicker
seen it.
Park?
No.
Holy you can watch it.
Okay. I'll watch Wicker Park.
You're gonna love that movie.
Isn't it kind of a thriller?
Yeah, she's a bit of psycho.
Okay, great.
I love it though.
Watch it. You're like perfect for you. Olivia says
Diane Kruger's in it. Sorry.
Olivia says Ted Bundy of the Valley. Hi, ladies.
Oh, no.
Love you gals and your witty banter, LA Rex, and hot takes. Both of you exude confidence that looks so beautiful on you, and I admire how true you are both to yourselves. It is admirable and refreshing to see. This is one of my favorite podcasts to listen to, and that's really saying something as I listen to as many of 20 plus shows. Loving you for your support. Thank you so much. I work in a pathology lab at a hospital, and my shift is from 1 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. LOL. So listening to the pod helps me stay awake and also gives me many laughs as well. I just would love to see you in your like white, what I imagine is like a white coat and a mask, like diagnosing someone with chlamydia or whatever. Anywho, I've been meaning to send this story for a while, but have been too lazy, exhausted to find the time to write in. But here we are now. So I moved from Massachusetts to LA 3 years ago for a change of life and scenery. And originally I had moved in with my brother and his husband who lived in the townhouse in Sherman Oaks. I ran outside pretty often to stay active. Number one, I eat a ton of junk food. You are amongst family.
Yep.
Number two, I refuse to pay for an expensive gym membership.
Also
Laughing my ass off. Give me a Planet Fitness and I am happy. One day I was going for one of my typical morning runs. I was about 2.5 miles into my run. That's a week's worth of runs in my opinion. I'm like, that's one run for you? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was running down Whitsett Ave between Oxnard and Burbank Boulevard. All of a sudden, this man steps into the middle of the sidewalk directly in my way. This is making me mad already.
Yeah.
I stop, take out one of my AirPods and give him a bitchy ass look like, bro, you seriously just stopped in the middle of the run? He goes, I'm sorry, can you help me move this box to the back seat of my trunk? And he held up his arm, which had a cast on it. And he's like, I recently broke my arm. I'd really appreciate it. At this point, I'm like, this is fucking weird, but I just want to continue with my run and go back home. I'm sure, let's get this interaction over with. His car was right there on the street. So I go over and grab the box for him from the ground in the back seat. And it's literally 15 pounds, much heavier than I was expecting. As I'm carrying the box to the trunk, I make eyes at all the passing cars like, I don't know who this man is, so in case he tries to harm me, please help. I was thinking there's no way he would do anything to me on the main road in the daytime with all these people going by. When I got to the trunk, he hadn't even opened it yet. And I say, can you open it? And he does. And there's shit everywhere he has to move. I'm just holding this heavy ass box like, what the fuck? He steps aside and moves behind me and I put the box in and I'm fucking sweating thinking he's going to hit me and stuff me in the trunk. But I quickly step back and start moving away back to the sidewalk. The man goes, thanks so much. Can I have your phone number? And I go, no, that's okay. I have to go, and start running. And my heart is beating so fucking fast. I was thinking that was insane. I got back home and I didn't tell my brother because I knew he'd be so pissed that I was that dumb. Anyway, when I saw the recent picture of the man in the silver car circling and the girls warning about him, I was like, is this the same person? I literally think I blacked out a lot of my memory because I cannot clearly picture what he looked like or what his car looked like. But I'm definitely sure he had a silver car and he was doing the same bullshit, so it must have been him. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on it too long because it gets me really weird and is depressing. And now I live in WeHo and run only on main roads during daylight, but it's still scary at times. Hope everyone stays vigilant and on their guard out there. XOXO Olivia. Okay, first of all,
Damn.
this is not victim blaming you in any way. The way that we have to do acrobatics to get out of uncomfortable situation with men because we're all in our head knowing what could happen. So instead of sometimes you're like me and you fly off the handle at them when they come at you, but sometimes you do have to gauge the situation and think, is it easier to try and de-escalate this? But I am glad you wrote this in just as a word to wise to anyone. You do not have to help anyone. You do not have to talk with anyone. I totally understand why you did that. I honestly bet it could be him. And maybe this is his beginning things. Is like, this is how he's trying to pick people up. But it sounds like based on everyone's stories, it could be escalating behavior. So I'm sad that you have to pick during daylight hours where you want to run. I do one walk around a reservoir. I used to do a different one, but it's more secluded. Even though during the daytime, I just don't feel safe being there with my headphones in. So I want to be somewhere if I'm alone that people can see me. And it's just such an unfortunate world that we have to live in like that. But I'm so sorry this happened. I'm so grateful that nothing happened. Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts. Christine says, hi, Disrespectfully Pod, newish listener here. Listening to other people write about roommate issues and ghost stories reminded me of an experience I had back in college. Let's jump into it. During my last year of college, thanks to COVID and online classes, I was home way more than I wanted to be. I moved into the downstairs unit of an old apartment building. I didn't realize how thin the walls were until I started hearing my upstairs neighbor, Ashley, constantly. She was absolutely fucking nonstop, stomping, dragging furniture, banging shit around. I could hear everything, including her having sex every night. My roommate had noticed these noises too, but never complained. I eventually lost my fucking mind and left a polite note asking them to be more mindful. Soon after, Ashley shows up at our door, apologizes, claims she had no idea where the noises were coming from, and then completely serious, suggests the apartment might be haunted, like a ghost. She even says she might sage the place. She tells me that she's going on vacation for the weekend and to let her know if the noises continue. That weekend was fucking perfect. Dead silent, no stomping, no ghost sex. I felt at peace. Then she came back and the noises immediately started again. Same chaos, same schedule, same extremely horny ghost. I asked her politely again to stop. She didn't. So I started banging on my ceiling to tell her to shut the fuck up. She texted me saying I was being rude and that she couldn't help the noise. At that point, I didn't give a single fuck. Oh, I was fully ready to start World War III over that ceiling. Eventually, the war ended and she moved out, and I eventually did too, but I'll never forget the person who blamed all of that on a damn ghost. All the disrespect to Ashley, Christine. Maybe it's haunted.
Not Ashley being like, I need to sage the place. You need to sage your pussy, babe. What do you mean? Also, this reminds me, I think we were talking about it when we weren't recording, but that little girl that like, it's like a famous Vine thing, but she tooted in a closet and she's like, oh, you guys, what was that? I think there's a ghost. Do you hear that?
No, that's exact. That was Ashley as a child.
Maybe that is it. Maybe that was Ashley. Okay. Just hasn't changed her ways. Marianne says, hi ladies, love you both. Katie, I've been a huge fan since season 1 of Vanderpump Rules, and I've always rooted for you. I love what you stand for and think you're the most gorgeous human beings I've ever seen.
What?
Dayna, you're amazing and remind me so much of my best friend. Funny, hot, overall, just an awesome person. Well, your best friend fucking slaps. That's what I know. I want to share my sister's story about my aunt's house, which, oh, this one's freaky, which was very much not normal. A lot of family, including myself, had strange experiences there, but this one stuck with me even though it didn't happen to me. I grew up in a big Mexican family, so people were constantly moving in and out of each other's houses. My aunt's place was one of those hubs, hence the many different experiences people had there. We spent a ton of weekends there because she had a pool and her daughters, my cool older cousins, were usually the ones babysitting us. Anyways, one night we were watching movies in the living room. The house was split level with the basement just a few steps down. I fell asleep early and got moved to my cousin's bedroom. That weekend, only one cousin was watching us. She was a fitness competitor and went to the gym obsessively. Her last workout was usually around midnight. My sister stayed asleep on the couch. My cousin decided to leave her there and run to the gym quickly, planning to move her after. Then things got weird. My sister has always been sensitive to whatever is out there. She woke up alone in the pitch black living room to a tapping sound on the window. With only a street light faintly lighting the room, she rubbed her eyes and tried to focus, only to see a single foot hanging from the top of the window, slowly swinging back and forth. Her stomach dropped. She blinked hard, rubbed her eyes again, trying to convince herself that she wasn't seeing what she thought she was seeing. The foot vanished, then one loud, sharp tap. Immediately, she heard a low, quiet weeping coming from the basement, a woman's voice. It only lasted a few seconds. At this time, my aunt's pit bull, Nizzy, who had been sleeping on the couch with my sister, jumped up and ran to the top of the basement stairs. She started aggressively stomping her 2 front feet towards the basement, staring into the darkness, barking and growling aggressively in a way she never had before, like she was protecting my sister from someone or something sinister.
Oh.
That was it. My sister bolted to the bedroom where I was sleeping with Nizzy right behind her and slammed the door, dove under the covers, and the dog followed. I woke up to my sister sobbing, barely able to get out that something was living in the room. I was younger and immediately started crying too. We stayed hidden until my cousin got home. When my sister told her what happened, my cousin started sharing her own experiences in the house. My sister feeling validated and not like she was going crazy. Over the years, I've heard many stories tied to that place, sightings of a little girl, a man in the backyard, and yes, the weeping woman. My aunt doesn't live there anymore, but a couple years later, my sister drove by out of curiosity. The house looked abandoned, overgrown weeds, completely empty, just depressing. She took a photo included, and sent it to our family group chat. There's a face in the window. The same exact window she saw the foot, not human, genuinely unsettling. Random side note, this is on the same block Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins grew up on. We never figured out the history of the house or what made the activity so intense, but we still share our experiences there whenever our family gets together, usually late night around a fire. Anywho, that's the story and the photo. Love you ladies. Keep doing what you're doing.
Can we see the
Can
photo?
you send us a photo, please?
Damn. Oof.
Isn't that crazy? A foot? That is just so like
a disembodied?
I would assume it was like as if someone was sitting on the top of the window, like still
Yeah.
connected to their body if it was swinging. Yeah. I don't like that. Would you rather have be just the leg or attached to a entity? I'd choose the leg.
What's
Oh!
attached to-
Yeah. Don't love that.
Oh, I rebuke.
Yeah, I claim no
that's
negative energy for
that
that.
looks evil.
It looks
too.
like Leatherface.
Ooh, looks like a demon. I hate it.
Okay, well, that was that on that.
Fuck. Okay. Chelsea says, okay, this is a follow-up circle back. One of my favorite stories. Hi again. I wanted to send another email that wasn't written while I was screaming and running in circles. I really love y'all's podcast, and so to be an even small part of it just made me feel thrilled. You guys know exactly how to make a girl feel good and seen. Luckily, I was drunk in my kitchen doing dishes when I heard this one, hence the zoomies. Usually when I listen to you guys yapping, I'm driving a large van and trailer in and out of Ukraine. If I was driving at the time, I probably would have crashed. When it's my turn to drive, I just throw in my headphones and zone out to you guys. I swear it's one of the very few things that makes me forget where I am and all the things I'm scared of. The co-driver is the drone and missile lookout, so I really can just zone out to you guys, and you've got me through loads of scary roads and attacks, so thank you. Holy
My
shit.
God.
Like,
We love you
that's
so much. I wish we
insane.
could give you a hug.
Here's some extra tea, though, about the castle in Scotland with its forever resident, Edith.
Edith's back.
Yeah. The castle was owned in the 1800s by a rich young bachelor who had lots of female relatives, which out here just became known as aged aunties, no matter the relation. He bought the place and moved all his aged aunties into it to spend their last days all together in a massive house, wandering the grounds and living in the absolute fucking dream, essentially. I guess Edith loved it the most, so she never left, and probably why she was all about girl power and hated when a man broke in, a queen. You know that whole thing about orbs and photos being spirits? Well, my mom gave up on photos in the house after a while. My sweet 16, all outside photos. My brother's school dance, photos in the driveway. My dad's 50th, photos in the garden. If you took pictures in the house, you wouldn't be able to see anything but orbs in the photo. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was just everywhere and always. We just became accustomed to it and ended up becoming temporarily sticky sock contenders by the way we would walk around the house and just talk out loud to all the spirits. What is a sticky sock contender?
Mental hospital.
Oh, sticky.
Grippy
Oh,
socks.
like the grippy socks. The
Mhm.
sticky socks contender.
Mhm.
That is hilarious. What I never mentioned was the third floor of the house. It has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. That floor had its own ghost, and it wasn't a fun story. A gay couple had bought the house after the bachelor had passed, and all the aged aunties were gone, and lived in it for a few years until one of the gentlemen hung himself on the 3rd floor. Ugh. They were subjected to harsh judgments and homophobia, and he couldn't take it anymore. We rented it out to a girl from a nearby town who was thrown out and needed a safe place to rebuild her life. Edith approved, don't worry. And sometimes I would hang out upstairs with her. You'd just be sitting there and everything would be normal. Then suddenly it'd be freezing in the room. Like you could see your own breath cold. It'd be like that for 5 seconds and then it'd go back to normal again. He never made any noises or anything like that, but he sometimes turned lights on. It was just a very different vibe up there. He was cold and it was still sad and angry, and we talked to him a lot, but he never moved on while we were there. I think of him sometimes and hope he finds the light and his partner eventually. Hope you enjoyed this second TED Talk. I love the coven you created. I love your confidence. I love your humor. And I love that you use your powers of love and disrespect for good. Anyways, I can't wait to tell you more tea whenever I can think of some. May the drones always miss my van. Much disrespect, Chelsea.
The drones always miss my van.
We
Yes,
love
we
you,
are
Chelsea.
sending you that energy for all of 2026.
Yeah.
We're sending you right now a protective shield of love and light.
And thank
And
you for more
bullshit.
tea.
Yeah,
Keep the
thank
tea
you.
coming.
That's so sad. I hate that, but also the lore.
The
The
lore.
lore of that
We
place
love
is
the lore.
incredible. Edith, shout out to Edith. May she haunt us soon.
May she always protect us.
Mm-hmm.
She's like a saint.
Yeah,
Saint Edith.
Saint Edith, misunderstood, sent to the where they burned witches and shit, the stakes. You know what I mean? I know. I think that Edith had access to podcasts back in the day. She probably would have listened to Disrespectfully.
She would be in the coven.
I would assume.
I would say.
Okay, well, shall we solve some problems?
Yes.
Little WWDD for you. Anonymous says, Dear Disrespectfully, hi lovelies, please keep me anonymous. I love the pod. I've listened to each episode, so I'm re-listening from the beginning. I made a TikTok video that got millions of views, 30 million plus. It was not hurtful, hateful, or dangerous toward anyone, but I still received a lot of hate for it. My TikTok account is now private, but I need some advice on how to handle mean comments and people reposting my video with their own negative commentary. I'm giving social media a break for a long time, but maybe I'll have the courage to post again in the future. So if I do, I need to know what would Disrespectfully do. How do you or would you ladies persist through the negative backlash from people? My mental health has deteriorated these past couple days, so any advice from you two would be much appreciated. Thank you in advance, XO Anonymous.
Well, pull up a chair because I'm an expert.
Yeah, truly. I mean, I think that first of all, it's a really wild thing when you're not used to being perceived by so many people. And then like we have these moments of virality that can exist on TikTok or, you know, even it gets plucked up by like a news source or whatever. And then all of a sudden you're being perceived. Guess what? You can be the sweetest, ripest, juiciest peach on planet Earth. There will still be someone who hates peaches. So it's just like, I don't even know if there's a way to, people say get a thick skin. I have a pretty thick skin about most things in my life. I'm very susceptible to this shit. So I just choose not to look at it like as much as I can and not give it oxygen. I think that you did the right thing as far as giving yourself a break and checking in with yourself and realizing it was impacting you in a greater level than just fodder online. I think that I mean, I've talked about like even after Vanderpump Rules, like I wasn't doing well and I really tried to push past that for a long time. So I think taking a break can be excellent, but also, you know what people love? A comeback story. So I think that you can't let, especially, I mean, this would be different if it was hate speech or something negative. If you're saying that it was just a totally benign thing that people chose to latch onto and be a dick about, sometimes I'll go in the comment section, well, every video because it's my favorite place to be, but sometimes I'll be in the comments and people are like, you guys are insane. Why are you commenting this mean shit? People love to be mean for sport. They don't have those people who are doing that.
Outrage, yeah.
By the way, they don't have anything else going on in their life. They are looking to feel powerful or like they're important or that they impacted another person negatively. So I say, when you're ready, absolutely keep posting. Be aware that this can happen. Things can go viral. People can be cruel, and just do what's best for you. Keep your voice out there. Keep building on that momentum.
Yeah, I know it's way easier said than done just to like ignore it and don't let it get to you and build a thick skin. And like that shit comes like over time and it does just become easier because you do become desensitized to it. Not that you should have to like get used to that kind of bullshit, but over time it just does. And I think, you know, if you want to have an online presence and you want it like that is come with the territory, like it doesn't, I don't think it gives people liberty to be fucking assholes, but they think it does. So
Right.
whatever. But I just think the way I look at it is just like, I don't know these people and they truly don't me. So why should their opinions have any kind of value in my life? And as much as it can be hard to read hurtful things about yourself, you have to think of it from that perspective. Like you've gone your whole life without these people's opinions on you. Why should it matter now?
Yeah.
So there's that part of it. Also, I think doing what you did and going private and like do whatever you need to do to protect your peace and energy. I've definitely done that at times. Like I think my TikTok is still private just because I you know what? I don't care if you disagree with me or if you hate me. My platform is not a place for you to spread your hate and negativity, period. So I don't allow that to do. Like you can only comment on my pictures if you like follow me. So there's not going to be, you can't, what did Ariana say to me? You can't hate from outside the club.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to be a follower, if you're not paying attention, like that just proves that your opinion matters even less. You don't even follow me. You have zero insight to who I am and what my life is about. So you just don't get to. I just remove that privilege because it is a privilege to have access to me in my life. And that's the way I have to look at it. And also like, I've never taken advice or trusted the opinion of people who had worse eyebrows than I do. So what is the quote? There's a quote about that. Like I've never like been jealous or wanted like not this is the T aspect of it, but like these people are losers. Like I pity them.
Yep.
Because their life sucks so fucking bad. I wouldn't trade places with them. I wouldn't trade places with a single one of those people. So the fact that I let what they say about me get to me for a second is hilarious.
Even before I had a platform, not once in my life, and I had years of social media before that, not once did I comment something mean to someone. Not once that I didn't know online. Like even someone I did know, I'm talking shit about them in my DMs with my friends like a normal person.
Yeah.
But like it's a really specific type of person that does that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never felt that small, so I can't relate.
I don't know. That's so beneath me. I don't even know what it's like. So just more of that.
And sorry that happened to you because it's a horrible feeling.
I'm not negating that. I've spiraled so many times over hateful shit, and like people call me like a cow and a pig and fat and all. Just like the standard run of the mill hateful shit. And at this point, I've heard it all, so you can't hurt my feelings. I didn't realize how much my sleep environment mattered until I upgraded my bedding and then I became a psycho. Like I've already loved my Boll & Branch signature seats, but adding their waffle bed blanket genuinely changed everything.
It's one of those things where you don't expect to feel a difference. And then the first night you're like, oh, this is what people mean when they talk about good bedding.
Yeah. Their signature sheets are insanely soft and they somehow just get softer every time you wash them. And the waffle bed blanket has this springy, near weightless warmth, and it makes your bed feel cozy without feeling heavy.
Together, they're just the perfect combo. Super breathable, really comfortable, and you can layer them without overheating, which is key.
You can also feel the quality immediately. Boll & Branch uses 100% organic cotton, woven by artisans, and everything feels really thoughtfully made. It's the kind of bedding where once you switch, you truly don't want to go back.
And they're designed to mix and match, which I love. There are over 300 color combinations, so it's easy to make your bed feel intentional and pulled together.
Plus, they're made to last season after season, and you can try them with a 30-night worry guarantee.
Discover a softness beyond your wildest dreams with Boll & Branch. Get 15% off your first order plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com/disrespectfully with code disrespectfully.
That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/disrespectfully, code disrespectfully to unlock 15% off. Exclusions apply. This is one of those brands where I was like, oh, this finally makes sense. Parallel is the vitamin company that actually understands women's specific needs.
Yeah, instead of one generic multivitamin for everyone, Parallel has targeted nutrition for where you actually are, whether that's menstrual health, fertility, pregnancy, postpartum, perimenopause, or just daily wellness.
And I really trust them because Parallel is the first OBGYN founded vitamin company. These formulas were created by doctors who specialize in women's health, and everything is backed by research and third-party tested.
I also love their daily powders because they do way more than the basics. Their protein powder isn't just protein, it's protein plus fiber plus creatine. Their green powders have antioxidants and fiber, and even their hydration powder includes electrolytes, collagen, and hyaluronic acid.
It's like getting multiple supplements in one really thoughtful product. And they're designed with women in mind, which you can actually feel when you're using them consistently.
Parallel just feels intentional. It's nutrition that actually aligns with what our bodies need at different stages instead of guessing.
Exclusive for our listeners, new customers can enjoy 20% off their first order with code disrespectfully.
Visit parallelhealth.com.
That's PERELLEHEALTH.com and use code disrespectfully for 20% off your first order. I feel like this year, I'm trying to be way more intentional about how I unwind because I'm honestly tired of waking up hungover and being like, why did I do that to myself?
Same.
Ugh.
I still want to relax and feel social. I just don't want the regrets. And that's where Willie's Remedy Plus comes in.
Willie's is a premium THC-infused social tonic created by Willie Nelson. And it's honestly become my go-to alcohol alternative. You get that uplifting, euphoric social buzz without the hangover the next day. Ugh.
Ugh. A lot of non-alcoholic options promise a vibe, but they don't really deliver. With Willie's, you actually feel relaxed and euphoric in like 15-ish minutes without feeling weird or out of control.
And it fits into real life. Weeknight wind downs, hanging out with friends, getting creative. It gives you that edge off feeling without breaking your goals.
Willie's is low calorie, low sugar, comes in 5 milligram and 10 milligram doses, and the flavor is so smooth, you almost forget you're drinking a THC product. You can take it as a shot, sip it over ice, or mix it into a mocktail.
Plus, each bottle is third-party lab tested for accurate dosage, so you can actually trust and customize your experience. This is not a scary edible from college.
Nope, sure isn't.
No.
Willie's unique blend of THC, CBD, GBC, and L-theanine delivers calm, clarity, euphoria, and relaxation, perfect for unwinding or making good company even better.
Willie's sold out 3 times in the first 6 months with over 50,000 happy customers, and they just restocked.
Willie's ships directly to your doorstep in over 40 states.
Order now at drinkwillies.com and use code disrespectfully for 20% off your first order, plus free shipping on orders over $95.
That's drinkwillies.com, code disrespectfully, and enjoy life in the high country.
Anyway, Anonymous says, "Hi girlies, you're both wonderful. Yours is the first podcast I've listened to ritually, so I'm here for advice. I'm 40 and have had the same tight-knit group of girlfriends for 20 years. I've felt left out of the group for years, mainly because they're all married with children. I had a boyfriend who suddenly passed away a few years ago, and they were by my side as much as they could be, and I appreciate that. My problem starts recently. About a year ago, my brother decided to move from California to Virginia with my nephews and his in-laws and invited my parents and I to come. I decided to move on from that small town and sad memories and start fresh. Over the years, I've spent thousands of dollars on bridesmaid duties, wedding duties, bachelorette parties, baby showers, and kids' birthdays, which I was honored to be included in. When I was moving 3,000 miles away, I expected a bit more of a to-do, if you will. I've never had an extravagant life experience or life change outside of this, so I guess I expected some kind of gesture. Before I moved, we got together, made some desserts, and cried a bit, but no other effort was made. Am I expecting too much? A gift basket, a housewarming present? I also turned 40 before I left California, and we had a small dinner, and I received a card and flowers, but their 40th birthdays have been met with full journal entries of how much we mean to each other. It's not about the money, but the sentiment. We all realize we probably won't see each other, maybe ever again. Am I silly to have my feelings hurt that they didn't make a bigger deal out of me moving away for good? Should I just let it go and move on? Feeling disrespected. First of all, I'm really sorry.
So sorry.
I think this is a very common or shared experience amongst people at this age in life where we're in very different seasons and our life paths look very different and all of it's okay. But I think it's just kind of about being more selective about who the people you have in your life. And I know it's like when you're friends with someone for 20 years, that's there's so much history invested into those people that like, why would you not want to nurture those relationships into later in life? But the fact is that people just outgrow each other. And I don't think you're wrong at all for expecting a little more something from these friends you've known forever. And this is like the first big change you've made in your life. You haven't had a wedding. You haven't had, like you've gone through some horrible grief. And I think it's perfectly acceptable to expect these people to step up and like just do something to make you feel good. Something, a little proper send off, a little goodbye party, a little parting gift, a little something for your new, I don't know, just anything. I don't think you're wrong for that, but this also says so much more about them than you. I don't think you need to internalize this and say like, think that you're the issue here. These people are that way and they're going to be that way forever.
Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Sex and the City is a documentary. I'm going to need you to go to season 6 of Sex and the City and watch an episode called A Woman's Right to Shoes if you have never seen it. They basically talk about this exact topic. And I can say this as a 35-year-old, happily never married woman without children. Carrie talks about it in the episode. I'm so thrilled to be a part of my friends' wins and their big life moments and to celebrate them. But Carrie talks about in the episode, she's like, after graduation, there's not a single event that celebrates you. And Charlotte's like, birthdays. And she's like, no, we all have those. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that just celebrates like you got your PhD or you took a risk and moved to a new city or whatever. And I do think that people who are married with children, and I definitely don't want it to be like an us versus them thing. But like they do expect you to show up for these moments, and I think it's just kind of lost on them because they have other and Tatum O'Neal guest stars in the episode, and she's the one, she shoe shames Carrie. She's like, I shouldn't have to pay for your extravagant life. And then Carrie's doing the math of like all the money she spent and all the time. And whenever there's an event, like it really does add up. There's a single tax. I will sing about this till the cows come home. While you can simultaneously be really happy, want to be involved, spend this money, spend this time, your energy, which is our most expensive currency that we have to offer. You can also notice that, yeah, I think this is a shitty feeling. I think that you were owed something, a bigger send off. I think to Katie's point, it probably just speaks to you have a big new adventure ahead of you. I'm very excited. You're getting a fresh start. I think that's amazing. I think you've been through some real trauma. And I think that you have an opportunity to now fill your life with the type of people that you want to have around you, the type of people who show up with the same bravado that you bring to them. And I think this is just speaks to growing apart, which is totally fine. It doesn't have to be some nasty thing. I'm just letting you know you're validated here. Like I see you. Yeah. You are well within your right to feel this way. I totally get it. I have experienced similar things, but I also think then it's just time to take note of it and honor them for what they were in your life and move forward. And then if they come to you with some bullshit in a year when you're living your best life, being like, you forgot about us. You never talk to us anymore. Be like, go ahead and check the scoreboard. Exactly. The onus really is put on the single people to be the ones to keep a relationship going after other people are married with kids.
I could just preach about this till the cows go home. Because I've been on both. I don't have the children, but I've been, in the relationship, had the wedding, got married, all of that. And now experiencing life outside of that with friends that are very much living that path. And it's hard because it's just like,
I mean, Tatum O'Neal says in that episode, I mean, obviously I could just recite the whole episode for you now, but she's like, yeah, Carrie, I was doing that before I had a real life. And Carrie just looks at her and goes, I have a real life. And the way that honestly, I know it's just a show, but has made me feel empowered as in my 30s, I've experienced that and been like, no, my time, my choices, my energy, it's all just as valid as everyone else who's married with kids.
Well, yeah, because I've seen like on threads where people are like, do people who are child free realize like, I'm going to botch it, but it's just basically talking about people who are child free. They're basically on vacation all the time. Yeah. It's like, no, the fuck, we're not. What makes you think we're on vacation all the time?
No, but also we made those choices though, right?
Yeah.
That's by design.
And I guarantee you people who are child free, especially by choice, have thought about that decision of having children way more than people who do have kids. So this is not by accident.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just saying.
Agreed. Anyway, you're validated, and sorry you felt that way. That's hard though to feel that way after 20 years. Like I get it. Anonymous says, "Hi Dana and Katie. I've listened to this podcast for as long as you guys have been doing it. I've been a VPR fan for forever and really only follow you two and Stassi now. I love seeing you all win and grow into amazing humans every day. Please keep helping others through your lived experiences and wisdom. It helps more than you'll ever know." So I was listening to a WWDD episode, basically looking for answers in the solutions you guys were giving others and thought, what the hell, why don't I just write in? So here it goes. In February of 2024, I got engaged to the love of my life. We already bought a house together and things are genuinely perfect. Like I'm not even an emotional gal, but would cry over how happy I was and often, LOL. We got a little too excited and in March of 2024, I found out I was pregnant. We were shocked, but both happy as being parents has always been in the plans for us. Our baby girl was born in November of 2024. I will not lie, parenthood rocked us. We're both very involved from the start and thus both very exhausted and irritable. To make matters worse, in the beginning of 2025, my soon-to-be father-in-law fell ill out of nowhere. They determined it was some autoimmune condition and he was in the hospital for months. We had no help with the baby as his mom was tending to his dad and my parents live hours away and travel nonstop just not to see me. This put such a strain on us to be full-time parents while both working hybrid in-office jobs with 45-minute commutes. My fiance's dad eventually came home with hopes of getting better, but within weeks, he very abruptly passed away. This devastated my fiance and his whole family. It devastated me. It wrecked whatever glimmer of happiness we were grasping onto while drowning in becoming parents. It has genuinely put such a strain on our relationship. I don't know what to do. My fiance is extremely exhausted and I know this. He works long hours at a job he hates, but can't leave without finding something and the job market is awful. He's a fully committed dad, but is so mad at the world, he's hard to be around. We fought more in the past month, December 2025, than in the years we've been together. I'm also trying hard to be supportive, give space, make things easier where I can, etc. but I feel like he hates me. He was once so supportive or at least understanding, and now I feel like I'm drowning under the weight of his grief and the low digs he lands when constantly announcing how much worse he has it. We're supposed to get married this September, and I'm trying to make amends with the fact that this is just his grief, but how can I be expected to marry him in less than a year when things are so rough? What if they don't get better? I feel like I'm failing him and myself, us and my daughter. I just need to know how to handle his grief and remain calm, supportive, and not lose my own mind in the process. What would Disrespectfully do? P.S. If you decide to read this and offer me some advice, please know it means the world. I feel very isolated and I'm running out of places to turn. Okay, so first of all, I think we just need to do a big collective group hug on this one. So that's a big hug to you. I mean, being postpartum, being a new parent and losing a parent unexpectedly is unimaginable, particularly when they had the pathway of thinking that he was getting better. So, I mean, first of all, you are so valid in everything you're thinking and everything you're experiencing. He's also valid in going through grief. And I can say this as being on two sides of it. One, being a monster who's going through grief and is an unrecognizable version of themselves. And then two, having to support two different people at the closest people in my life at two different times in my life, of having to support them in their grief journeys and then kind of having a humbling experience at being on both sides. So I can speak to this in a big way. I would say, first of all, you are right. To me, it sounds like it probably is his grief and he will grow out of it. But the thing is, we don't know how long that will be. Mine lasted for literally like 5 years of me being not the best version of myself, alienating people. Like, I'm amazed that I still have the friends that I had then. And I totally recognize that now and wish that I could pay penance and change it, but I can't. Like, it's just what I was going through. Now, mind you, at the time, I had the luxury of not being a spouse and a parent. So I really had the space to do that. But it also doesn't mean that you have to stick around for it. Now, stay with me. I'm not saying this means abandon your relationship, tell him to go fuck himself. Not at all. I think you're doing everything you can to be supportive. I'm sure you're trying to talk to him when he's more calm and in a more rational headspace, because grief does make you go insane. You can't hear anything. It's not going to land. But I think that you're valid in having concerns about getting married to someone in September that's so in this stage of not being themselves. So I would say, unfortunately, when you guys write in, we want to give you the perfect button-up answers, but I think the overall arching thing here for me is that we can't tell you what to do and give you a perfect button-up response. What I can say is I think you really do need to trust your gut and do some internal reflecting. You can go crazy with analysis paralysis and going through every scenario, but you need to stop and take a breath and make a choice of what your pathway forward is going to be, and know that it will be the right choice eventually, even if there's because there's hard pros and cons to whichever thing you decide. I also do think it's fair to talk to him in a calm way and say, I want to be your partner. I want to support you through this. I just don't think it's the right time to get married. Not even make it about like a threat, like I don't want to marry you or whatever. Just be like, why don't we take this stress off our plate?
Yeah.
And we keep doing what we're doing as you're getting through this, as I'm getting through this. I love you. I support you. And just, it gives everyone some breathing room.
I think that would be my course of action too, is to like still not leave them and not, end anything, but just say like, I feel like this timing isn't ideal for us. I feel like for, everything that we've going through, everything we've gone through, I want us to heal through this and do this together. And then we can enter into this like happy, time. Marriage should be, when it feels more appropriate, when it feels like we're both aligned and on the same page. And I just think it's not up to you to carry them through this and figure it out for them. I think you obviously don't want to draw hard lines because that might push them away. I think you're being very careful not to do that, but I think you do have to look after yourself doing all this. So again, I don't suggest leaving him or the marriage or anything like that, but just being very clear about where your head and heart is at, that you just don't think that doing the wedding planning and all of that right now is ideal for many reasons. And I think just wanting to get back to a place where you both feel good about entering that chapter in life that doesn't come along with all this hard stuff that you're going through, the grief of it all, the trauma of it all.
And I think I will say it's obviously apples and oranges, but both of the people that I was really close to, that one, I was going through grief in tandem at the same time, and then one later in my life, we both got through those hard times, and they are still two of the most important people in my life, and it was very worth it. Although there were times with both of them that I'm sure they would both say to me they didn't think our relationship would last like through that time. So there are different seasons. So I'm just saying that as like, I'm hopeful for you that this will change over time, but he's probably just got to be a little selfish right now.
Yeah. And if you, again,
and you should do the
and
same
this
for
might not
yourself.
be the first time in life you go through something like this. So this will really become the blueprint of like how you handle these things later on in life. And I know it's hard when like words hurt and damage is done. You need to also heal from that as well. And I wouldn't want to be carrying that into that chapter with somebody.
Agreed.
Anyway, I hope it helps.
Truly.
Anonymous says, hey girlies, never thought I'd be writing in, but I gather the courage from my introverted self to send this in. Also, I love you both. I was introduced to Vanderpump in grad school and have been obsessed with you two ever since. Katie, your confidence in yourself is inspiring. I try to embody your I don't give a fuck energy at least once a day. Dayna, likewise, I also relate to you so much. You inspired me to go alcohol-free for a month earlier this year.
Ooh.
It was definitely a great way for me to reestablish boundaries around my drinking. I apologize if this gets long. Anyways, I'm writing in as I definitely need some advice about something in my life. I want to preface this with how much I love and adore my husband. I'm in the most secure relationship. He constantly validates my feelings and has always verbalized both how beautiful he thinks I am, even though it's hard for me to feel internally sometimes. I would never question his loyalty to me. So here's the problem. I met someone at an event a couple months ago and developed what feels like a little crush. I am someone who has always been more attracted to personality versus looks. Where I'm struggling is that this person is a woman. I grew up in somewhat of a repressed and conservative family, so I never even questioned my sexuality growing up. I have even kissed girls in college, but never really felt anything, so I thought I was totally straight. I have a number of coworkers who have found out they were gay/bi later in life after having been married with children and followed that path and exploring their sexuality. I totally respect their choice, but I do not want that for myself. I love my husband and I do not want to entertain this crush. I do, however, feel like I need to have a conversation with him. We have no secrets from each other and I feel like I owe it to him to be open and have a conversation. Is there a best way for you ladies to suggest I navigate this situation? Talking with friends may not be the best option as a majority of the people around me also know my husband and I don't want him to feel embarrassed. Not about questioning my sexuality, but more about how I do not feel like I would ever question his love for me, if that makes sense at all. I'm feeling a lot of guilt since I love him so much. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Disrespectfully anonymous. First of all, go easy on yourself.
Yes.
This isn't an indication that anything is wrong with your marriage or your husband. I think that two things can exist very much at the same time. Having a deeper understanding of yourself at this stage in life and your sexuality is normal and it's okay and it's not inappropriate. And if that comes in the form of like feeling like you have a crush on somebody, that's how it shows up in life. And that's not to say that you have to entertain it or you should entertain it. But I think because you are in a partnership with this person, sharing these types of discoveries in your life is important and they should support you and not feel threatened by it. Because if you're being very upfront and honest with them that this doesn't change the way they feel about you, that you're not trying to explore that side of you, that you are very happy, but you want to recognize this and embrace it to whatever ability that is, that's not, stepping out of your marriage. I think you should absolutely have the conversation. You just have to say it. There's no like script to go off. You just have to say, I want to share something with you that I've discovered about myself recently, because I just want us to always like have this openness with each other. Just frame it like that. And then he's gonna say like, what is it? And you're gonna say, I met this person and it struck me in a way that I've never felt before, but you can be as reassuring as possible. And I don't know, I can't guarantee that he's going to be as receptive as possible, but if he loves you the way that you're saying he does, I guarantee he will.
I know, basically the way that you laid this out to us and what you said is what you should say to him.
Yeah.
But I feel that way too. Like I'm confident in the foundation that you guys have, that he'll be able to hear it. And who knows, maybe it'll be shocking at first and he's allowed to have his own reaction to it.
Yeah.
But I think to your point, I don't want to limit you. If you have a really close friend you want to chat with about it, absolutely go for it. But I think the conversation needs to be with him and just say, hey, this is what's going on. It doesn't change anything. To be seen is to be loved. And I don't want there to be anything about me that you don't know. And it's just something that I've discovered. It doesn't change anything. I'm not interested in exploring it. I just want you to know this about me. And like, and I'm sure I'll have questions. And also maybe he'll help you get a better understanding of who you are and, what you want. And I think it could be a really productive, amazing thing that could only strengthen your relationship. But yeah, I think just be open with him. And it sounds like it's a pretty safe space.
Yeah, but don't like remove the guilt. And I know that like you can't help those things, but I'm telling you, like, you don't need to feel guilty. Like it's so normal.
Also, even in a straight dynamic, like people, you're together for 20 years, 30 years, you meet someone, you're like, oh, that gave me a little fanny flutter. But if you're not acting on it, like that's life.
Yeah, I think it's a shared experience by many people, and it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
We're animals. No, but I mean, it is like it is an instinct that is like built into us, whether we want to accept it or not. It is what it is.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like.
But that's where self-control and will comes into play, because of whether you play into those desires or not.
Differentiates us from being animals.
Exactly.
Beth says, hello, Katie and Dana. Love the pod and love you both, etc., etc. You're both an inspiration, and that's why I need your advice. My boyfriend broke up with me today. If I was honest, he was not giving me everything I needed, and I deserve better, but it still hurts. I'm 26. I'm just a baby. And I'm excited to be single so I can grow to be independent. I am scared. I feel like I need to hear this from my two big sisters. I hope that's not a weird thing to say. Love you lots. I hope this wasn't long. I am very aware that this isn't well written, but I'm writing this in between tears. Tragic, I know. Okay, love you, bye. Kiss, 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 Beth. We'll always be your big sisses. So no, I don't think that's weird at all.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you're so sweet. I'm glad that you recognize that you are just a baby. God, to be 26 again, to go back with the knowledge of the universe.
But it hurts.
It hurts.
It hurts.
And it is scary. And even if you like hate the person, breakups are very unfun. It doesn't matter who's the breakupper, who's the breakupee. It's just not a good time. It hurts. Let it hurt.
Yeah.
Lean into that.
We talk about just really leaning into everything that you're feeling, because it's the only way out is through.
Correct. So you got to go through right now, go through the hard part. And then to your point, you even said like, there's so much to look forward to, but let this part suck. Let it hurt. You'll probably at some point go on some dates that are going to feel shitty because it's not the person you were with and you're not used to it. And you kind of just have to go through it. It's a process. It's ongoing, but good news. You're going to come out on the other side of it better than ever. And
I think it's so good right now in this time to really reacquaint yourself with yourself again. Like connect with yourself, find out, like it's a learning experience, and you got to take something out of it. So like sit in those feelings, see how it makes you feel. Does it make you feel empowered? Does it make you feel you can call into question everything that it's making you feel, because that's where the growth is going to happen. And so moving forward, you're going to have a very different outlook and perspective on dating and who you choose and who you stay away from. And it's really important to pay attention to those things and really learn from this. So listen, you're going to make the same mistake a few times, because we do, especially.
That's what your 20s are for, baby.
That's called having a type. But, I just think right now you just it's a beautiful moment to hang out with your friends, hang out with yourself, figure out how you feel, what you want, what you don't want, and take that with you.
Period. Okay, well, we ran really long today.
Yeah, we did.
And on Wednesday, but you want to know why? Because we missed you so much.
We just so much to talk about.
Want to be little chatterboxes, but, happy anniversary to all of you. Even if you're just joining us. Happy
anniversary to the Coven.
Happy anniversary to the Coven. If you've been here from day one or you just found us, we love you bad. Well, till next time.
Love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye. Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like, disrespectfully.